for that introduction. Thank you to my brothers and sisters, the First Americans. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be with you here today. This is my first ever powwow, and I'm having a wonderful time. After 27 years, you should be very proud. There's so much to celebrate here today, and I'm honored to be a part of it. As Derek said, I'm Michael Strautmanis, Chief of Staff to President Obama's Senior Advisor, Valerie Jarrett. Together, Valerie and I and our team, we keep the lines of communication open to you, to the White House. And I'm here with Jody Gillette, who is a tremendous dancer. She hasn't danced for us yet at the White House, but I think when I go back, I'm going to talk to the president, and we'll see if we can make that happen. But we take our job very seriously. We recognize the contributions that Native communities have made and continue to make to our country. To our veterans, to our troops serving overseas, we honor you. You're in our thoughts and in our prayers. But we recognize there is still much work to do so that all Americans can achieve the dreams that they have for yourselves and for your families. And we're here to do that work with you as partners and as friends. But don't take my word for it. You can hear it from the president himself. The president has recorded a special video message for you, and we'd like to play that for you right now. Thank you again for giving me the opportunity to be here, and I look forward to the remainder of the powwow. Bless you, and greetings from the White House.
Hello, everybody. I want to take a moment to thank the Gathering of Nations for the outstanding work you're doing on behalf of the American Indian and Alaska Native communities. I also want to recognize all of the artists, dancers, singers, and spectators who are taking part in the 27th Annual Gathering of Nations powwow. Native Americans, the First Americans, have always been a rich and vibrant part of our national heritage. And that's why last November my administration hosted representatives from 386 nations at the White House Tribal Nations Conference, the largest and most widely attended meeting of tribal leaders in history. Back then, I expressed my commitment to build on our nation-to-nation relationship with tribes across the country. And I made it a priority to work with tribal leaders to tackle some of the greatest challenges facing the Native American community as a whole. Together, we've taken positive steps towards change. We listened to you when you told us that improving health care was a major priority for American Indian communities. And that's why last month I was proud to sign a law that will permanently reauthorize the Indian Health Care Improvement Act and make important improvements to the Indian health system. To make sure your voices remain heard, I appointed Kimberly Teehee to the White House Domestic Policy Council to serve as a direct link between Indian country and the highest levels of my administration. Kim is joined by Jody Gillette from the Office of Intergovernmental Affairs, who works to keep you informed and lets us know about your questions and concerns, managing the nation-to-nation relationship between tribes and the federal government. Although we've made great strides in improving the lives of Native Americans, we have so much more work to do. I want each of you to know that this administration will continue to do our part to move our country and Indian country forward. Thank you all for your commitment, and I wish you a successful powwow.
Before we break, I think it's only fitting that we hear from Jody. So ladies and gentlemen, Jody Gillette.
Thank you, Derek, and thank you everyone for giving me a few moments to address you here today. I'd like to acknowledge my elders out there dancing, a few of the people that have taught me how to behave as a Lakota woman and as a person. I'd like to acknowledge them and thank every one of you for all that you do to carry on the vision of your ancestors and my ancestors in making the traditions and the ways of our people carry on into the future. I'd also like to acknowledge the singers and thank you for all that you bring to these kinds of events, the powwows and the wachipis. And I also would just like to thank my boss for coming. Michael Strautmanis is the Chief of Staff for Valerie Jarrett, and he took a great leap of faith coming with me out here to Indian country. And you all have been wonderful, and I really miss seeing a lot of you, and I look forward to visiting you the rest of the weekend. So with that, I'd like to just give it back to Derek and have a great powwow.
Let's have a big hand for the White House staff, Jody, the president, and we're going to hold him to it. We're going to take this powwow one day to the White House lawn.
How about this, Derek? Michael, when you go back, you tell the president he's welcome to come here anytime to lead us out in the first intertribal, whether it's in his first term or his second term. How about a round of applause for President Obama in the house? Aho. Thank you very much. Thank you. I hate to sound politically biased and one-sided. All right, Albuquerque, how about it, man? Are you ready to powwow? Are you ready to listen to the world-class drum groups represented from the province of Canada and United States? Let me hear ya. Are you ready to see the most world-class champion dancers right here on this powwow arena?